Even while the company creates amazing phones, tablets, and GPUs, not every device will be worthwhile to purchase. Over the years, the tech sector has seen its fair share of spectacular disasters. This list of the top 10 worst tech failures includes groundbreaking AR/VR devices, terrible phones and tablets, and software that never really took off. The list is not in any particular order. Number 10. The Pippin from Apple. Like most well-liked technologies, Apple desired a piece of the action. The Apple Pippin was the company's entry into the console market. It was a multimedia platform with PC-like capabilities and the ability to play games and media. It came with its own controller, and third parties were granted licenses to use the platform to create and distribute their versions. Even while the Pippin had numerous innovative features, most notably the choice to design an entertainment center that was essentially equivalent to current consoles, the idea could have been much better. As usual, Apple aimed for the top end, but the hardware was supposedly lackluster, sales were dismal, the platform had few games, and the whole project died a very silent death. If Apple learned anything from the Pippin, it was not to charge exorbitant prices for their goods to appease the wealthy. That remains the company's current method of operation and, in essence, its strategy for the future Vision Pro. Number 9. Google Glass. Inventive innovations are the order of the day in 2012. After that, Instagram debuted Android, and Nokia announced the 808 Pure View, which boasted an incredible 41MP camera. Google had no intention of falling behind. 2 months later, it debuted its experimental augmented reality glasses at Google event, having teased them in an April Project Glass video. Co-founder Sergey Brin himself displayed skydivers landing on top of the event location while sporting the stylish new eyewear. Google Glass was predicted to be the gadget that would fuel air fantasies. But it was just out too soon. The gadget cost an absurd $1,500, and there were severe privacy issues because of the whole cameras on people's faces thing. Furthermore, Google Glass had severe technical problems such as short battery life, unplanned restarts, and certain features that did not function as intended for a device that was supposed to be a high-end gadget with next-generation augmented reality capabilities. In 2015, Google finally removed the device from the market after it was outlawed entirely in specific public spaces. Number 8. Windows Vista. Only some Windows releases have been big successes. Criticism was directed toward Windows 8, Windows 10, and even Windows 11. However, Windows Vista was arguably the most notable failure in Microsoft's desktop operating system range. With a problematic launch, Windows Vista was positioned as an upgrade to the fantastic but dated Windows XP. Initially, the operating system was criticized for needing to be more complex and compatible with various applications and hardware. Although the new Aeroglass style of the visual update looked fantastic, the ordinary user found it to be a resource hog. User Account Control UAC, which was recently implemented, was seen as more of a hassle than a security measure. Even though high system requirements and high prices weren't problems for everyone, they undoubtedly contributed to the unfavorable press Windows Vista was receiving. Number 7. Zune from Microsoft. Microsoft launched Zune in 2006, but Apple had previously introduced 5 iterations of the iPod Classic in addition to the Shuffle and Nano. Microsoft was a latecomer to the party, but it could not effectively set the Zune apart from the iPod. When Zune was released, Apple became a market leader and produced a pop culture star. Microsoft needed to present something unique to draw users away from Apple's now almost flawless music player. What the Zune provided, however, was a large brown music player that stood in sharp contrast to the iPod's understated design. The software aspect of the matter was also chaotic. The Zune and Zune Marketplace were less closely connected than the iPods and the iTunes Store. DRM problems made people even less receptive to Microsoft's purported rival. Number 6. BlackBerry Storm. Although the concept of a clickable touchscreen may have been sound in theory, it could have been a better idea in execution. Loyal BlackBerry customers greatly missed the lightning-fast typing they were accustomed to on the company's keyboards because typing on this screen was excruciatingly slow. In addition to the iPhone, the Storm had to contend with an ever-expanding army of Android devices. Aside from hardware issues, the BlackBerry Storm's software experience was subpar and its app store was weak. While RAM was quick to embrace the new touchscreen technology in 2008, it was slow to implement it. Although Storm 2's display was updated, it wasn't enough to improve its performance. The corporation succeeded in creating a display that deprived users of the advantages of tangible hardware and made them utilize an arduous interface. Number 5. Ping iTunes. More people are aware of Apple's hardware malfunctions than its software errors. iTunes Ping is a social network within iTunes that focuses on music and is one of these lesser-known flops. The issue started when Ping was first introduced in 2010 as a means to follow your favorite musicians and pals on the iTunes platform. First, sharing reviews, purchases, and other trivial updates was the extent of Ping's social features. Additionally, Facebook, at the time the most popular social network, was not included. Second, because few artists use Ping, Apple's user base, if any, didn't discover any natural means of interacting with artists. Third, the fact that Ping automatically shared users' musical choices with third parties without their permission didn't make users happy. Number 4. The N-Gage from Nokia. This endeavor was as audacious as they got. Nokia launched a multi-million-dollar campaign in collaboration with video game producers, gaming stores, and other participants to take on the enduringly popular Game Boy and open up a new market. Unfortunately, dreams could not save the N-Gage from failure. The $300 N-Gage was panned by the media even before it was released because it was an oddly shaped, heavy, and boring device. Although its peculiar form factor made it scarcely suitable as a standard cell phone, it could be used as a gaming phone. Its buttons were soft, and changing game cartridges required removing the back cover entirely. Speaking of the games, there were few options, and they cost $30 per. Number 3. The Nintendo Virtual Boy. The Nintendo Virtual Boy, which debuted in 1995, aimed to establish 3D gaming as a mainstay before the release of the PlayStation VR and Oculus. The Virtual Boy was a bulky gaming device featuring a stereoscopic 3D display. It required the player to play a game and rest their head on a platform while focusing on a monochrome red screen. Many gamers reported being uncomfortable and experiencing eye strain due to this display, which negated the immersive gaming experience. As if the awkward interface and somewhat dull graphics weren't enough, the Virtual Boy's game selection was, at best, somewhat small. Only 22 games were developed for the 3D console, and many more were cancelled soon after they were revealed. Number 2. HP Touchpad. Though we tend to see past mistakes negatively when we benefit from hindsight, HP is solely responsible for this. This one indeed required some foresight. If your product is intended for a market that the iPad primarily established, it must, at the very least, be exceptional in a few areas. The touchpad was hardly better in any of them. Comparing its Weibo's platform to the App Store, it was, to put it mildly, ridiculous and empty. Furthermore, the touchpad's hardware specs were unremarkable and could not save it. Just 2 months after the touchpad's release, HP was compelled to lower its pricing from $499 to $99. After a year, the touchpad was essentially non-existent. After HP eventually sold off all of its Weibo's assets in 2013, LG revived the OS in their TVs. The touchpad has turned into a cautionary story that teaches marketers hoping to cash in on a fast-growing market a vital lesson. Number 1. Galaxy Note 7. Before its release, the Galaxy Note 7 received excellent reviews, making its eventual demise even more disappointing. The giant of Korean smartphones, unable to contain the problem, recalled every one of the handsets still in use and even released a software upgrade that rendered all phones worthless. The phone's size and battery caused the fires. The official explanation for the overheating was that there wasn't enough space around the battery. Some second batteries needed more crucial parts, such as insulating tape. Whatever the cause, it was a potentially fantastic gadget entangled in an unanticipated and enormous scandal. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. See you in the next video.